This video is on solving systems of equations with 3 equations and 3 variables plus its word problems. Okay, so to solve using elimination, what we have to do is combine any 2 equations out of the 3 so that one of the variables cancels out either using addition or subtraction. So let's take these 2 equations, and here we can eliminate the x variable. So -2 minus 2 equals 0. So 0 plus -5 minus 5 will equal -10. And then -2 minus 2 equals -4. Then 12 minus 4 equals 8. So this gives us -10y minus 4z equals 8. Now what we have to do is combine one of these 2 equations with this one to eliminate the x variable so we can get another equation. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Okay, so let's rewrite the first equation over here. -4x minus 5y minus c equals 18. So we can take either one of these second equations. So let's just take the second one, -2x minus 5y minus 2z equals 12. So what we want to do here is combine these two and get rid of the x variable because that's what we did on the previous one. So what we can do here first is multiply this equation by 2, and we give -4x minus 10y minus 4z equals 24. So we can move this out of the way and move this equation up here. And so now these are our 2 equations. So now what we can do here is subtract these 2. And -4 minus -4 is 0x. And -5 minus -10 is 5, so 5y. And -1 minus -4 is 3, so 3z equals, that was 24. And then 18 minus 24 equals -6. So to rewrite our second equation, it is 5y plus 3z equals -6. And we can get rid of all this. So now what we want to do is just simply solve this system equation to find one of the variables. So what we can do is multiply this bottom equation by 2, and we get 10y plus 6z equals -12. So now this is our new equation multiplied by 2. So we can get rid of this one and move this equation up here. And so now we can just combine these two by adding, and it will get rid of the y variable. So -10 plus 10 equals 0. So 0y plus -4 plus 6 equals 2. So 2z equals 8 plus -12, which equals -4. So we have 2z equals -4. If we divide both sides by 2, we get z equals -2. So now we have found one of our variables. So now what we can do is plug in -2 in for one of these equations. So we'll pick that one. So -10y minus 4 multiplied by -2 equals 8. So -4 multiplied by -2 would give us 8. So -10y plus 8 equals 8. Subtract 8 from both sides, we get -10y equals 0. And if we divide by -10, we get y equals 0 because 0 over -10 is just 0. So this is our y value. So now we found both x and z and our y values. So now we can plug these two values into one of these equations. So we can get rid of all this. And we can move these up here. Okay, so now let's just take the first equation. Negative 4x minus 5 multiplied by the y value, which is 0, minus the z value, which is negative 2. Remember to keep the negative sign in there. Equals 18. So we have negative 4x minus 5 times 0 is just 0. And then we got a negative multiplied by negative 2, which would make that a positive 2 equals 18. Subtract 2 from both sides, and we get negative 4x. The 0 is just out of there. And we get negative 4x equals 16. Now, divide both sides by negative 4, and we get x equals negative 4. So this is our x solution. So our final solution would be negative 4, 0, and negative 2. The solution should be in the x, y, z format. So the x value is first, then comes the y value, and then lastly the z value. And that is our solution. Just getting rid of all of this. So we can check the solution now by plugging in these values into one of the equations. Let's just take the first one again. So negative 4 times the x value, which is negative 4, minus 5 times the y value, which is 0, minus the z value, so minus negative 2, equals 18. So all of this should equal 18. So negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16, minus 5 times 0 is just 0, and then minus negative 2, which would be plus 2. So equals 18. So 0 just goes away because that's a 0. And 16 plus 2 equals 18. And we know that this is our solution. Okay, so now for a word problem. So a movie theater sold 8,500 tickets, which totaled to $64,600. Senior admissions cost $5. Student admissions cost $6, and general admission was $8.50. Twice as many student tickets were sold as senior tickets. How many of each ticket was sold? So our first equation would be starting with 8,500 tickets. So all the tickets have to add up to 8,500. So let's say senior tickets. The variable we'll use is Z. For students, we'll use S, and for general, we'll use G. So 8,500 should equal Z plus S plus G. So that's the first equation. So for the second equation, we have to use the $64,600. So for Z, which is senior admissions, each ticket is $5. So 5 times the amount of tickets, Z, plus for students $6. So 6 times the amount of tickets, which is S, plus general admissions, which is 8.5 times G. All of this should equal 64,600. And for our third equation, we have twice as many students' tickets as senior tickets. So senior tickets, which is Z, multiplied by 2 equals the amount of student tickets, because it's doubled. So what we can do here, so this is just 2Z equals S. So we can replace all of the S's in both of these equations with 2z. So let's rewrite the first two equations. So 8,500 equals z plus 2z, which is, we can just write 3z plus g. And for the second equation, we have 64,600 equals 5z plus 6 multiplied by 2z. And this would be, actually, let's finish the equation off first, plus 8.5g. So 6 times 2z is 12z, and then 5 plus 12z is 17z. So we can just write 17z here, 17z plus 8.5g. And these are our two equations. So we can get rid of these up here since we have brought it down to the last two equations. So we can move this up here. So to solve this, all we can do is, to stick with the elimination method, we can multiply this by 8.5, the top one equation. So 8,500 multiplied by 8.5 will be 72,250 equals 3 times 8.5. 3 times 8.5 will give us 25.5 z plus 8.5 g. So that is our new first equation. Move this up here. That is 72,250. Okay, so now what we can do is subtract these two to eliminate the g variable. So these two will be eliminated because 8.5 minus 8.5 would just equal 0. So 72,250 minus 64,600 gives us 7,650, which equals 25.5 minus 17, which gives us 8.5 z, and the g's canceled out. So now we divide both sides by 8.5, and we have 7,650 divided by 8.5, and we get 900. So z equals 900. So our z variable was the senior admissions. So senior tickets total to 900. So now what we can do is plug this back into this initial equation. So we can do 64,600 equals 17 multiplied by 900 plus 8.5 g. So 17 times 900 gives us 15,300. So 64,600 minus the 15,300 gives us 49,300, which equals 8.5 g. So now we can divide both sides by 8.5, and we get g equals 5,800. So there were 5,800 general admission tickets. So now let's encircle this, and we can erase all this other stuff. And now we still have to find the student tickets. So the amount of student tickets would just be, we can just plug in the variables into our initial equation. We can take the simple one, which was 8,500 equals z plus s plus g. So 8,500 equals 900, plus S plus 5,800. So 8,500 minus 5,800 minus another 900 gives us 1,800 equals S. So the student tickets add up to 1,800. So this will be our answer. 1,800 student 5,800 general, and 900 senior ticket sold.